The Socceroos qualified for their 5th World Cup and 4th in a row via a playoff win against Syria, having come 3rd in the AFC third round. 38-year-old Tim Cahill, who could be the country's greatest ever player, scored 10 goals in AFC qualifying. Australia are managed by Bert van Marwijk, who took the Netherlands to the World Cup final in 2010, assisted by Mark van Bommel. It won't be a surprise then to learn that Australia are well organised and physically assertive. Van Marwijk's side tend to play a 4-2-3-1 that can look like a 4-5-1 against stronger sides. The midfield pivot will be captain and expert penalty taker Mile Jedinak, playing alongside the creative Aaron Moy or Massimo Luongo. Jedinak gets through a lot of work, covering across behind the wide right player, usually Hertha Berlin's Matthew Leckie. Ahead, Tom Rogic plays behind a lone striker, either Robbie Kroos or Tommy Jurek. Australia transition from their 4-4-1-1 in defence to a wide 4-2-3-1 in attack. The fullbacks push up and Rogic peels off behind the striker to get into the box unmarked. Moy's job is to get the ball quickly into the wide spaces, either for the fullbacks to play up the line or directly to the wingers. Australia lack a consistent goalscorer, so much will be needed from Tom Rogic's bursts from the midfield. The defence also looks inexperienced and Trent Sainsbury's side lacks real ability, though Matt Ryan is a very good keeper. On paper, Australia are a mixed bag and everything will depend on their clash with Denmark. Denmark qualified after a playoff, having come second in UEFA's Group E behind Poland. The playoff saw them draw 0-0 with the Republic of Ireland in Copenhagen before hammering them 5-1 in Dublin with Christian Eriksen scoring a hat-trick. Eriksen scored 11 overall, joint 3rd in UEFA qualifying. Manager Åge Hareide has experimented with formations but appears to have settled into a 4-3-3 that can look like a 4-2-3-1, though don't be surprised if a 3-4-2-1 is used as well. Christian Eriksen is the hub, playing in front of a strong midfield pivot of Thomas Delaney and William Kvist, but roaming away from the hole regularly. They will fall back into a 4-4-1-1 in a block, but transition quickly. Hareide has tended to play a big, strong striker on the right-hand side, either Andreas Cornelius or Yusuf Poulsen, with Nikolai Jorgensen the first-choice front man. Cornelius or Poulsen will push up alongside him, while talented Celta Vigo winger Pione Sisto tucks in from the left alongside Eriksen, so Denmark can look like a 4-2-2-2 in attack with the fullbacks pushing up. Hareide has attracted criticism for not picking Andreas Christensen or Yannick Vestergaard in defence, and the fullbacks lack depth. Kasper Schmeichel is a very good keeper though and could spare defensive blushes. Denmark are very reliant on Eriksen, and if he's marked well, they could struggle to create chances. Pione Sisto is an excellent attacking talent and could be Denmark's other world-class player in years to come. Denmark have the talent to progress from the group, but could find it hard against teams that are tough to break down. Winners in 1998 and runners-up in 2006, France topped a tricky qualification group, beating Sweden into second and seeing off the Netherlands, who failed to make it through. Olivier Giroud and Antoine Griezmann both scored 4, and 4 players scored twice, including Dimitri Payet, who misses out on the final squad due to an injury. Under Didier Deschamps, France have used a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-3-3, but in recent friendlies they have used the latter formation and it's likely that they'll prefer this. The fullbacks will push up high to provide width and overlap round the inside forwards who flank a central striker, either Giroud or Griezmann. N'Golo Kante is guaranteed to start in the midfield holding role, and he will likely be flanked by Paul Pogba on one side. The other side could see Blaise Matuidi for greater solidity and box-to-box mobility, Corentin Tolisso or Thomas Lemar for pace and creativity, or Steven Nzonzi for another deep passing option. France will press, especially in the midfield area. The 4-3-3 will fall back into a 4-5-1 or even a 4-1-4-1 against better sides, but France will always be looking to transition quickly into a counter, exploiting the searing pace out wide of the two wingers Ousmane Dembele and Kylian Mbappe. Dembele and Mbappe can cross, cut in and shoot, or drag markers wide to cut the ball back. France have been weakened by a few injuries to experienced players and look to be lacking some leadership in defence, but their forwards and midfield are as good as any in the tournament. The group phase will not test them. The question is how far they can progress afterwards. Peru, under manager Ricardo Gareca, came 5th in the CONMEBOL qualification section, level on points with the more fancied Chile but ahead on goal difference. This put them through to the Interconfederation playoff against the OFC's winning team, New Zealand. Peru won 2-0 at home to seal a 2-0 aggregate win. Edison Flores and skipper Paulo Guerrero scored 5 goals each for Peru in qualification, and Guerrero's overturned drugs ban means he won't miss Russia 2018 after all. Gareca, a former Argentina international whose goal denied Peru a place at Mexico '86, uses a solid 4-2-3-1 that looks like a 4-5-1 or a 4-4-2 in defensive pose. The central midfield pairing of Renato Tapia and Yoshimar Yotun stay narrow, while creative 10 Christian Cueva roams around the pitch to collect the ball and starts moves. The wide players, usually Jefferson Farfan and Andre Carrillo, will pull wide or push up and inside to support the striker so that Peru can almost look like a 4-2-4 in attack, with Cueva drifting near the side. The fullbacks will also get forward, and Miguel Trauco is particularly dangerous from left back. Pedro Galles starred for Peru in goal during qualifying, but Carlos Coseda has played in recent friendlies and been superb. This leaves Gareca with a tough decision to make. Tapia, who can play at centre-back as well, will be Peru's main man in midfield and should show his class. Guerrero is a solid goalscorer whose presence will be a real boost, and Peru are a technically capable side with real grit in the middle. While topping the group is out of their reach, Peru could spring a surprise and qualify at Denmark's expense.